Yeah, g'day and welcome to Game 3, deciding match between Execration and NeonEsports in this lower bracket elimination match. TI11 regional qualifiers in Southeast Asia. Execration took Game 1 fairly dominantly, and then got off to a very rocky start in Game 2 with an Alchemist draft, and never really recovered. And Neon... I recommend watching the end of the game between Neon and Execration. Very, very exciting last ending to that match. Lots of fun there. So Neon did take Game 2 in pretty stylish way in the end. And here we are in Game 3. The Chen and Enigma being banned out from Execration, Bat and Marcy being taken out from NeonEsports, removing that easy initiation. And the first picks will then be the Undying once again on Execration. I think they picked it all 3 games, so it has been let through and win once and lost once. And you know my feelings about the Undying. I think it's not as good as what it's sort of made out to be.
5 seconds remaining.
The Earthshaker and Enchantress from NeonEsports. So Enchantress with the Chen being banned just does still provide a lot of pressure in the early game. With the pushing of towers, but also just lane pressure, and then can become sort of like a healing tank later on that is very hard to bring down, particularly depending on the draft of the opposition. Puck is picked up from Execration. Very, very good. I think Puck is incredibly strong, and I'm surprised it isn't picked more.
10 seconds.
I know Quap is picked a lot, but I think Puck just does pretty much everything Quap does, just a little bit better. And it's probably even more survivable than the Quap as well.
Radiant team ban.
Second round of bans. These bans are coming really quickly. The teams are very sure about what they want to get rid of here. The Kunkka, TA from Execration, and once again this Primal Beast being banned, and the Timbersaw. I think the Primal Beast ban is excellent. I really honestly think the Primal Beast is a little overtuned currently at the moment, and is probably going to get nerfed at some point before the main event of TI. I would hope so anyway, because he's so strong.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Last bans for that second phase with the Beastmaster and the Tusk, so single target damage through BKB and control through BKB, as well as a little bit of save with the snowball roll being taken out. Neon will grab the Ember Spirit. Has been reasonably strong in these SEA qualifiers. Teams that have picked it up have played well with it. We saw earlier tonight in the first game of Army Geniuses versus Xerxia, because we never got to do game 2 and 3 because Dota beta. That the mid for Army Geniuses just carried that game 1 with the Ember Spirit. It's just incredible. It's so much work around the map. And Nyx is the counter pick. So very clear counter pick Nyx here for the Ember. When he's got the Flame Guard on, you just walk up next to him in Vendetta, whack on the Spike Carapace, and follow up with the Vendetta hit and the stun. And you're setting up on one of the most elusive heroes on the side of Neon. Similarly, the burst that Nyx has is pretty good against the Enchantress. So the Vendetta damage is not insignificant, and Enchantress's HP pool is quite small. Sometimes you can see that Vendetta hit take quite a long time if the Untouchable is active. It is level 6. He sort of winds it up very slowly in the invisible form.
Dire team pick.
Faceless Void was left in the draft as well, so there's no obvious damage here coming out in the Chrono apart from the Puck. Undying, I guess you can put the Tombstone off to the side, start getting some additional value out of that. But Nyx isn't great. I mean, you could follow up an Impale Stun post Chrono, but generally you're going to be using that as the initiation, not so much as a follow-up stun. Lycan is grabbed for NeonEsports. I'm not sure about this. Ember and Lycan. Ember wants to play very, very quickly. Lycan doesn't want to play quickly at all. Lycan wants to farm and then do something for 25 seconds and then farm for the next 100 seconds. Do something for 25 seconds, farm for the next 100 seconds. Ember just wants to fight, and has the capacity to fight. You can just really push the limits with it. So when you're thinking about an overall draft, you're thinking about what are your cooldowns and what's the tempo you want to play at. You know, you see Execration's draft, you know, it's sort of centered around this Tombstone, Quill, Chrono, Vendetta sort of setup. And there's some clear timings there. But all these heroes can, you know, Void and Puck can play quickly later game once they get some items. You know, you don't need the Quill or the Chrono for Void and Puck late game once they have the items. But certainly assists, but they can both sort of scale similarly quickly. And when they get those late game items, they can then start to play at the same pace. But play, you know, reasonably, you know, slow to moderate in that early game, with their ultimates being fairly reliant on the other abilities to hit and to set up for the rest of your team. So at the moment, the tempo of Execration's draft just seems a little bit better than the tempo of NeonEsports draft in how they're going to execute it. Last round bans, the Ursa is taken out. Tidehunter, actually from Neon, is banned. I think it's a pretty good ban as well, because Tide has, you know, matching up with the Faceless Void, you know, you can follow up or set up with that Ravage. It's nice. I don't think it quite fits into the style of Execration's draft here. They want something that can maybe move moderately quickly, maybe something with a cooldown, ulti cooldown around 50-60 seconds. Not something that is sort of like a big be-all and end-all ult, and if it is wasted, then that hero is just a creep, unless they have a huge amount of other items. Using a lot of time, Execration in its last ban, they take out the Alk. Alk would have been very greedy from NeonEsports, but I guess they just don't want to deal with it. Void can suffer from being outpaced, and an Alchemist is one of those heroes that will outpace you if it has a decent game. We saw Palos have not a decent game on an Alk last game, and didn't get to outpace the opposing cores until, you know, it was too late, really.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, the Underlord is a great ban. That's more the style of hero I'll be thinking Execration will be going for in this last pick offlaner. Something that can still have a presence on the map without the ulti up. There's plenty of options here.
10 seconds remaining.
They did play Razor last game.
5 seconds
Don't
remaining.
think it fits that well into this draft. It is possible, you know, it's good. It has damage inside the Chrono, it's good. Amps up the minus armor, allows you to take Roche. Good for pushing later on. Centaur, they just go for the classic blink and stun. And a little bit of initiation, or disengage with the ulti. So, yeah, this is a really well-rounded draft from Execration. My only concern is just early damage for Chrono before Faceless Void really comes online with his own damage. It's very reliant on Puck and maybe the Undying contributing in some way. But apart from that, I'd say the draft is very solid from Execration, and it really does tick all the boxes. They have scouting, they have initiation, they have disengage. They have AoE control, they have AoE damage, they have evasiveness, they can cut waves, they have good lane presence with the Undying, the Centaur. They really do have everything they need.
You may now select your heroes.
And so then that's going to be a Fortune Soul Pudge, I would say, for the last pick. And Rue will be the offlane Lycan. Avatar Mod 3 will be the Ember mid. See Enchantress, Play Hard Shaker, and Fortune Soul Pudge. Okay. I mean, Shanks is good against Pudge. Same deal as the Ember Spirit. Just having you can set up with the Spike Carapace against the Rot. So that's very good. And I guess the idea is just to have too much physical damage block for Palace to hit through, but Undying's decent against Pudge. I don't know if this was a pick for a safe lane Pudge. I don't know if this was the game for it. Not that I'm saying that safe lane Pudge isn't good, but this game may be a little bit questionable. You got such a weird timing base with NeonEsports draft. You got this Lycan who wants to fight and then not do anything. You got the Pudge who's sort of fight ready at all times. You know, with the Ember. You got Enchantress who wants to apply early pressure. I guess that's what makes sense with the Lycan. You got the Zoo coming out there. So interesting how Neon put this game together. Number of Roshan kills. Great. Stacks. How many stacks is it going to be? Let's say 6 to 10. 50 last hits will probably go to Fortune Soul or Palace. No, probably Bob actually, now that I think about it. First Roshan kill. Execration. Right, so both teams moving out, looking to get their vision down early. Play hard will throw their obs without getting scouted, I don't think. Obs on this side, maybe just see him walking across. Josie doesn't have... Actually, the sentry immediately, they find it. So Neon, straight away getting that obs ward down. Similarly to how Execration got those initial 2 D wards in that game 1. Just got him off to a really good start. The other obs will be up on the bottom sort of entrance to the jungle.
30 seconds to battle.
I believe they still have one more ward. Yeah, one more obs ward on Playhard. So they know that he has it. He might pass it off, give it to someone else. Fortune Soul, hook level 1. They might try and get a kill here. If anyone shows, no, they're not giving any opportunity to the Pudge on this top side. Instead, they're looking more bottom. They have 4 heroes here. Try and kill the wolf. Our resummon comes out, so it doesn't feed away any gold. So nice little play there from Enru. And will it actually deny? Oh, Shanks has to use the stun to make sure he gets that bounty rune. So 3 bounty runes going to the side of Execration before the horn starts. In the mid lane, we're going to have Bob on his puck, laning up against Avatar Mod on the Ember Spirit. In the top lane, we're saying Tino on the Centaur War Runner, laning up against... Oh, hook comes out, catching over on Fortune Soul. A little bit of damage. And the impetus hit. So Fortune Soul already line up the hooks this game. On the safe lane, Pudge being supported by C on the Enchantress. Tino will be supported by Shanks on this Nyx Assassin. And they're just giving it to him. He's got another hook. Impetus hit comes out. They're really chasing Tino. They see the regen is lacking and they're putting the pressure on early. Gotta be careful. This first blood could fall in this top lane quite quickly. The hook is available. Thinking about it. Bottom lane though, nothing happening down there. So in the bottom lane, it is the Lycan of Enru being supported by the Urshay by Playhard. And they're laning up against, once again, Vincenzo on this 5 Undying and Palos on the Faceless Void. Back in the top lane. They're getting on top. There's the courier goes down. That hook used there? He still had the hook available. And Tino yet to level a skill point. Just holding it at the moment. Didn't want to get the return level 1. Holding onto the hook stop. Impetus hits so much damage. Mid lane, Avatar Mod, 8-0 onto 3-0 of Bob. So Bob is just getting a little bit outplayed by this Ember in the mid lane at the moment. Should start to level out once he gets some ability to just burst the waves with the orb and the silence. Tino now at the level in the Retaliate. Actually slowed up. Hook comes through. Tino, he's slowed down. And the last one comes through. The impetus from C and first blood goes over to Neon on this center on the top lane. And that really came from that first hook that came out as they entered the lane and just started the harass on him. Kept him low the entire time. He will TP back out with full HP. So a bit of a blessing in disguise for him there. Vincenzo just pops another mango. 2 still to go with some tangos, so he just keeps harassing this lane. Lycan can't really do much against him. Avatar Mod does end up taking the orb damage. And Bob, no points in the phase shift, just going full out on the waning rift plus the orb at the moment. So wants to be able to clear those waves as soon as possible and contest the runes. Enru queued up the Helmet of the Dominator, wants to get that out as soon as possible with control of the creep. At the moment it means he's just sort of chilling over in the side tree line as the wolves, but Vincenzo is zoning him pretty hard. Bob will be forced to head to the top side. We'll end up getting a point in the phase shift now. And Tino has a couple of creeps underneath the tower, but he's still under a lot of pressure. He's gone for the 2 in retaliate to try and stop the damage coming through from Enchantress. Shanks is still level 1 just with the impale. Behind the tower, Vincenzo is here with the decays. He's given it to Enru. Contesting this creep wave. And for once now, the Enchantress will move off the lane. Tino will be left alone with Fortune Soul. Has the stomp. We'll have the damage coming through. I fear for Vincenzo behind this tower, but he's just sort of holding the wave here. Meanwhile, Palace is doing a little bit of damage on this tier 1. The Curry's coming through. Vincenzo, don't send him behind enemy lines. It's a little bit early just yet. So both water runes claimed by Neon, so Bob will have to go home. He's got no regen coming out. He's just got the wand and the fairy fire. I think he has to go if he wants to be able to keep contesting this lane. Otherwise, he'll just die to the Sleight of Fist combo on Ember Spirit. Tranquil Boots almost ready on Nyx Assassin, still level 1. Tino 4. Holding a skill point as well for the time being. Bottom lane, Palos trying to trade a little bit. Actually got the 2 in time lock, so none in the dilation for the time being. Just 1 in warp, 2 in lock. Wants to try and get a couple of bashes out. Deal the damage top lane. Shanks has been found. There's a hook still available. There's no way you're getting out of this one. With the enchant plus the rot slow, it's a little bit too much damage and control. You know, just kill the creep wave with the combo of the stomp and the double edge. Vincenzo holding a skill point. Not yet in the tombstone or the soul rip for this at the moment. Just doesn't really have the mana. So, you know, down the mana. Won't just level it up yet. I'll wait and see what I want to get later. Once he has full mana. Warpine Raider, we've seen it do a lot of damage before. That's 2 bounces that time. 100 damage each. Fortune Soul is going in. Actually, they want to try and maybe turn around with Shanks, but no, he's just there with the level in the carapace to get the stun and let his Centaur Warrunner walk away safely. 2 in the time walk now. So, not really rating the time dilation on this lane, which is fair enough against Enru. Not going to do much against this Lycan. He's trying to trade up against him. Trying to get some bashes, but man, he can't buy any. Couldn't buy a bash. On this bottom lane, Palos. Hey, he gets a couple there now, so we've been trying for a while to get some bashes off, but we'll eventually get some. And for a safe lane Pudge, the game has started well. And Enchantress has the Centaur Warrunner, gets the stomp. Fortune Soul hooks him back in. Counter Centaur stomp actually, but the body blocks, they're there. Coil on 2. Shanks is coming through with the damage. Will they have enough for this Pudge? Maybe not. There's a 2-man impale. Fortune Soul, he's still walking away with the rot, but will eventually go down to those final couple of last hits. Last clicks from Bob. So excellent rotation there from Bob and Shanks to punish this Pudge who, yeah, is having a great early game, you know. Vanguard or the Bracer. Let's go back for the boots now. Avatar mod in this mid lane. Flame Guard running level 2, 3 in the Sleight of Fist. We'll just keep spamming it out. And there's the Spike Carapace. You see how this combo works. However, Shanks, he's caught on the wrong side of the fissure at the moment. Warpine Raider coming in with the throw. Has a little damage it does. You get a couple of bounces, that Warpine Raider. It's a lot of damage, 100 each bounce. Vincenzo, he just comes rolling through. A mad Undying appears. He's trying to throw the tombstone down, but no, he will decide against it. Probably will just get cleaned up for the additional gold. So, Undying walks mid and runs into 3. Chrono is available, actually holding 2 skill points at the moment. Odd that you see 2 skill points being held. We'll use 1 in the Chrono. Quite sure, maybe he wants to, he will commit to the time lock. So actually he's going to throw it down with the orb damage. You can get a couple of bashes. He needs some more. Well, silence through rather. He needs some more, 1 more right click. I don't know if they're going to get that quill to commit. Bob didn't want to have to use it, but in the end, we'll just throw it out for that initial 125 damage. Are really trying to avoid using that quill. They wanted Bob to have some presence on the map for the next minute with not having that down, but better than getting nothing out of the rotation. You want to make sure that Palace gets some XP for using the Chrono, working into the Maelstrom mid lane. Avatar Mod is in the middle. They know that there's no coil now. Stun comes out from Shanks. It's just the level 1 Carapace for the time being, so it doesn't last for too long. Just a 0.6 stun duration. Once you get to level 4, 3.4 seconds, it does scale very well. And of course, the cooldown from 25 to 10, certainly worthwhile leveling that up. Tino walks into Fortune Soul, who has an E. Stomp will come out from Tino, but there's a hook. Will hit it. E will follow. He'll pull him back in. Centaur ultimate has worn out, and now he's just chasing him down with the rot level 4, and the Centaur will die. One big boy against another, but the Pudge walks away on top. Will get himself another flesh heap stack. Boots available now as well. Bottom lane Palace, he's surrounded. He's scouted out as well. The creeps are there. It's the 3 in the time warp. Cooldown is 12 seconds on that one. Trying to kill this Centaur War Runner creep. Got a lot of HP, but then just gets resummoned. And you don't get any gold for that. Palace though does realize it's a lost cause in this bottom lane and walks himself away, heading more towards mid.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bob will continue to clear the waves with the level 4 in the orb, and probably will max out that Waning Rift or the phase shift depending on what his build is here. Having the burst is always helpful. Avatar Mod comes in with the Sleight of Fist. Setting up, there's the coil, and there's no way to cancel that Flame Guard. There will be the additional damage coming out from the stun, the silence, but he might just live here. He can throw away a remnant, and yeah, he's out. I think they just didn't quite connect their stun lockdown correctly there. Bottom lane, the tier 2, it's under threat with the creeps. Bob's got to arrive with fairly low mana. Catapult wave is still arriving, so maybe Neon want to commit on this one with the catapult. They're still in the area. They see Palos under the wood. Midas, actually, not the Maelstrom, it's the Midas ready on Palos. So he's decided this game, they're going to take it late, take this one deep, and win in the late game with this Faceless forward. That's the plan. Are there any interesting potential combos with the Aghanim Scepter on Centaur War Runner this game? The old Hitch a Ride. I don't think so. Not really anything that channels on their team. Hitch a Ride can just be used as a save. So it's just like it's a bit of a budget save, really. You can pull someone away. So late game, it's a save ability even on your heroes. You can blink in, Hitch a Ride, and just keep someone from being targeted from any further spells. Shanks has the Vendetta, moving through, wants to wait for that Flame Guard to be pocked so he can use the level 3 Spike Carapace. He's just hunting over that Avatar. Actually, down comes the Sentry. They know he's there exactly, but Avatar Mode does just restrain himself and doesn't throw out any spells, knowing that it might be reflected back onto him. Running to the top lane, Fortune Soul now level 9, 3 in the Flesh Heap. Shanks decides he can't really do anything there. Back down in their side of the river. Palos, Tombstone on the high ground. But now what? Tombstone's used and they just run away. Everyone just walks away. That's the level 2 Tombstone.
Is under attack.
They're not really going to get anything from this. Centaur. Ultimate used and Hook comes through, catching over onto the Void. Will have to bash. He has a Time Walk, does get the damage back. Shanks covering with the Spike Carapace, and Tail will follow. Play hard. Stunning through. There's a coil on 3. They don't have the lockdown onto Avatar mod. Alice is trying to think around where he wants to use a Chrono here, but there's a wolf at his door as Enru comes running through. But I think the team of Execration does he's able to withdraw themselves. Shanks is thinking about going in with the Spike Carapace again, but might just decide it's not the best idea. Might just die to the damage anyway. Stampede certainly going to be helpful this game to give a little bit of gap for Palos.
Are scared.
Vincenzo just has the mana boots at the moment. Maybe working towards... It's got an item coming out. What is it? Just some more consumables, just some wards and a couple of smokes. Bottom lane. They've caught out the Palos Void. It's a big impetus hit, but it misses uphill. I think one more impetus with one more Slide Fist would have been enough, but the miss did occur. Two wards right next to each other here. They don't even realize it. Bob has the Witchblade completed, so a little bit additional damage he can pump out with the maxed out Waning Rift and Illusionary Orb at the moment. So he's going heavy commitment on the damage with the Witchblade. And we'll have to see where he goes after that. DD on Palos is about to expire, the one that he almost died for in the river. You have to find a way to make them fight around this Tombstone, and I guess getting the Chrono down is a really easy way to ensure you can do that. Get the Chrono down, chuck the Tombstone on the side, and those zombies will start to build up, and they'll feel like they have to sort of fight around that. Shanks uses the Spike Carapace pretty defensively just to make his way back. Alice getting closer towards the Maelstrom now, and then the BKB afterwards. Has the Midas, though it will scale eventually, but for the time being, it's not looking too hot for Palos. Pudge is having a stellar game. Central is actually looking pretty good as well. Could be going on in the mid lane. Chains come out, play hard, has a stun. There's an Echo available. They will commit it, but the wand comes out and Palos is able just to get the Time Walk away. That additional 100 health from the Seeds of Serenity. Very, very powerful. Who's here? It's Fortune Soul. There's a hook. It comes out. This time, he might not be so fortunate. Tombstone is on the deck, but they'll just walk away. Once again, the Tombstone is committed, and the side of Neon they just completely head in the other direction. They don't have to fight in Tombstone. Coil is committed. Chrono does actually catch on the 2. They're trying to get the damage onto Ember Spirit while he's leashed up, but he might be able to get away. Remsen's down the river. Illusionary Orb comes through. It will get the final kill. But Pudge, he's in the middle of the fight. He's walking uphill. The Tombstone is in range. The zombies are starting to stack up. But that will expire now. He does die. He gets a little too excited for his boots there. Stun over onto the Enchantress, but here's the Wolf. And Rue turns up with the Lycan ulti. Tino trying to stun, but the creeps doing a little too much. Tino might just make it away here with the innate survivability. His stun actually comes through. The Wolf, it's going to expire. There it is. It's run out, and Rue, he's vulnerable. Tino wants to go back in. He's got another Blink Stop onto Double Edge. If he gets a little bit extra damage from Bob, maybe an Illusionary Orb can come through. Shanks is in the middle as well, trying to get the Spike Carapace. There's another Impale catching onto the Earth Spirit. Earth Shaker. My mistake. Play hard. Does get another Fissure out. And Tino will blink away.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So quite an interesting fight there. Was it just the 3 for 2? I think, yeah, 3 going down Neon, but of course it was 4s for both teams. The pos 1s for both teams, the Void and the Pudge both did die. But they'll take that on Execration because Void is scaling. He will be bigger than Pudge. Oh, the hook in the trees, Vincenzo. He just got added to the flesh heap stacks. give him one more. Strap the flesh onto the side. Yeah, that's one dead undying.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Shank's working towards a blink dagger. Wants to be able to blink in and get that spike carapace off on the Ember. And it's really, really powerful because, you know, it's the sort of thing that can catch you prior to BKB. Blink in, carapace, get the follow-up stun, and you can have a BKB ready and none of that matters. You just get completely locked down from where to go. Bob. Orbs right in front of the team of Neon.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Palos and Execration not looking to fight just yet. Chrono up in 10. There is a Midas. Actually, they've caught again the puck. And they're just walking down. Fortune Soul walking down the mid lane. Vincenzo forced to pop the Flesh Golem. This is the... I was going to say, I thought it was Pride Aghanim Scepter. He's got the Aghanim Scepter, so... The damage is there. I mean, Nyx just dies on the other side of the map. To the Wolf. And into the Roach Pit they go with all the creeps. Helm of the Overlord, sustaining them up. C just tanking with the Untouchable. The smoke is coming. They let him have too many Aegises last game, Execration. I think that's going to happen again. The Aegis, it will be claimed. The Roche is falling. Can they get in fast enough? Palos, he's going to go, but it's too late. The stop is there. The Aegis is already claimed. And they just got to try and get out. Palos, it's time to retreat. Tombstone comes down. The support may be coming in. The Centaur is dead on the back line, trying to kill Playhard. They will get the Earthshaker. Tombstone falls. Chrono is available, will pop it down, but he's just dying. He has to get out. His teammates are dying under the effects. Stun, double, coil, onto the 2. And that Chrono was certainly not a feel-good one. They're body blocking up Bob. He's trying to get over. Will eventually get the orb out. Does run away, but there's an impetus hit. It didn't actually come.
Top tower is under attack.
There's another hook. Fortune Soul is in again. Vincenzo, turn to K. Live a little bit longer, but it's not enough. 7 flesh heaps. He's got an Aegis. Got the hood. This Pudge is coming online. This is his time to shine. This is when Neon wished to take the ownership of this game. Thought maybe for a moment then they might have just got in before the Aegis fell. It was so close, like a millisecond earlier, you know, just half a second earlier, and they would have probably even got the kill on the Aegis plus the steal with the blink in. Oh dear. Oh dear. Bottom lane. I mean, that's a... It's not even Echo committed. He just died. Okay. I mean, I thought I must have missed the Echo Slam, but no. Faceless Void just died to a couple of spells. And yeah, he's out without BKB still, but coming up close. 2 components still to come up, and here they come with the push, with the creeps. The Zoo's here. The Aegis is online. The hook actually catches Bob. He gets stunned from the fissure, healed up. There is a counter from Tino. Tombstone is on the deck. He's going to start building up. So Tombstone, there's going to be lots of zombies. Coil online. There's a Echo whiffs pretty much everyone. Palos does manage to get out. They do take down the Tombstone eventually. Fortune Soul though, he's just in the middle of the base. He's got an Aegis with the rock going through. They will get the kill once. Chrono is not up for 33. And Tino's been found. Execration. You're losing your racks. You're losing your place in this tournament. Neon, they've come back and fought you. Bob is caught in the shackles. Another stun onto Pudge. Bob, that's dead. He's caught on the back line. He can't live. The tips are coming out. There's a glyph. And I don't think, has anyone died? It's just been the Pudge's first life. Meanwhile, 4 dead. Plus a buyback on the side of Execration. Thought for a moment then that the tombstone was going to be a little too much, that would have built up too many stacks, but Fortune Soul just lumbered in there on the Pudge and eventually got the job done. Got the right clicks through while he rotted down everyone. That was, I thought, might have been the moment for Execration. Now, when you see that tombstone drop down, it's in a fight for about 5 seconds and it hasn't been touched, you know the zombies are building up, the slows are coming out, and slowly but surely you're getting so much value out of that tombstone. It wasn't to be. Shanks has the blink dagger. Kalos still not have the BKB. He needs it to be able to fight against this Pudge. Ember has a haste rune plus BKB, working towards the Orchid now. Interesting pickup from this Ember. Wants to really punish maybe the Puck. Does the Puck have any way to dispel a silence? No. He's going in for the Sanj and Yasha, so no Yules, no BKB on the Puck. So if that Orchid comes out, he will just pretty much die off the bat. Play hard will follow with the stun. I mean, they've almost got the kill on him. Bob's going to be careful. Full silence back in, healed up from the Soul Rip. Owl comes out. And the Tier 2's dead. Just like that, Avatar mod catches 2. Kalos jumps in. Doesn't have a shard yet, does have a chrono. Tino, they're trying to find this Earthshaker before he gets off an echo. The silence is there as well. Buys back immediately. Lycan committed the ulti. Bob, though, is in trouble. He's got no way out. Coil is ready, but he will hold it. On the south side, Hook comes out. Spike Carapace will delay, but will die anyway. In the base, they are trying to kill off the creeps. I don't think they actually got the gold for that. The resummon might have been there in time. Yeah, I think they got the range creep. Yeah, so no gold collected. The resummon was there. And now the middle racks is under threat. Bottom's already fallen. Tino, what can you do? You haven't really got enough tank ability to sit in the middle of this fight and just be unkillable. Vincenzo has a level 4 tombstone if they commit in, but he doesn't want to pop it without maybe the use of the chrono and the coil. He knows there has to be great value got out of this tombstone if they win this fight. Actually, hooked in, there's Palos, BKB, tombstone is down. There's an echo, there's a chrono on top. The zombies, they're going to start building up. Quill coming through potentially as well. Puck is here with the damage. BKB on Fortune Soul. Can they kill the tombstone? They're getting on top of it. It's just not going to be enough. Faceless Void. He's run out of BKB. He's run out of chrono. He's run out of life. And Execration has a Quill now on 3, but they're already... This team's dead. Quill on 4 even. But Bob, it's too late. The team is already gone. Hook comes through and Vincenzo adds a little more of himself to Pudge. Now up to 13 Flesh Heap stacks, and Execration, their life in this tournament is hanging by a thread after being so dominant in Game 1. Game 2 got away from them, and now Game 3 was sort of looking okay for a while. They're wanting to take it late with this Faceless Void, with the Midas. And all of a sudden, the draft of Neon just came online with this Pudge. He's too strong. He had such a good lane. 15k net worth. He's 4k ahead of the Faceless now. And the item is starting to show in the fights. He's just very, very hard to bring down. 3.5k HP. Physical damage, physical damage resistance, magical damage resistance. And just a beacon of damage in the middle of the fight, Bob. We'll just clear the wave and blink away. Gotta be careful, Bob. If they come to the high ground now, do you have ultis? Tombstone is up. Shanks has Vendetta. There's a Coil. Stampede, but I don't believe you have Chrono. It's still another 60 seconds. And oh, that's just a hook out of the base. Vincenzo is dead. So now it's 4v5 without Chrono. Palos will come in and just try. Actually, Hook is blocked. Well, onto 2 there. He's on the back line. Palos is trying to get in with some damage. The Lycan ulti is coming out. The BKB's there as well. Fortune Soul's just eating up the Centaur, and the impetus hits are too much. Too late, Shanks gets in with the Spike Carapace to try and turn around anything. And the Glyph is here. The buyback comes out from Nyx. Bob, he's on the back line. He wants to try and hunt down this Lycan when the Lycan form runs out, but maybe they're hunting him. Chrono available in 10. Tombstone is still ready. They didn't use it. They know the importance of combining it with the Chronosphere. They got the Earthshaker. They did somehow stop that push. But at this point, it's starting to look very, very scary. Gem on the Enchantress as well. C is going to play the Vision game. And she's actually got Witchblade along with the Growbow. My goodness, Enchantress is half a core. She's going to deal... If there's any stuns, Enchantress will deal a bunch of burst damage with this Impetus hits. So it is a full 5v5 again. Ultis will be ready to use again in about 20 seconds. Centaur ulti, Vendetta as well. They have Coil plus Chrono. It's level 2. Tombstone is actually the hook onto the Avatar mod. Get in front of the Pudge. And what can Execration do here? They need a perfect team fight. Just hypothetically, if they get, let's say, a 5-man Chrono, Tombstone is popped down beside. They build up the zombies. There's a 5-man Quill to follow that afterwards. And a Spike Carapace catches on all 5 and follow up with Impale on all 5. Is that enough? Is that enough? I don't know if it is. This Pudge might just kill them all. He's level 18 now. He's got the Eternal Shroud as well. 10% spell lifesteal. I mean, the smokes came out from Execration to try and move out on the map. But really, Neon, they've got their eyes on the base. They're sending the creeps forward. Tino will show. Try to kill off these wolves. Hook. Baiting out those creeps. See if you grab a hook. Catch a fish. Roche will respawn in 3 seconds. So goodies will be available. He's going to scout it out immediately as well. Look at this as he comes into the pit. Shard and Aegis available. I want that. This may be it. This is the chance. I think this is the GG. If Execration don't win this rush fight, this is probably just their life in the tournament. They're going in. They know it's being done, but it's just Fortune Soul in the base. It has to be a huge Chrono. Silence comes out. Palos goes in there. Hook over onto the Nyx Assassin. Black and ulti. Avatar mod pops the BKB. Tombstone in the middle of the fight, but Nyx is already dead. They're trying to kill this Enchantress, but she's so damn tanky. And she's dealing out too much damage to Tombstone. And slowly starting to get the job done, but they were committed. Echo Slam onto this puck. In the back line, inside. We'll try and live. Palos has to get away. Tino TP's out. They delay it. They delay it. Palos still holding Chrono. No BKB though. Will was used. This Tombstone is just not doing enough. This first pick Undying feels like such a waste when you get these Tombstones down. And it's there for 10 plus seconds on the team fight. And it just still isn't doing enough. Back into the Roche pit they go. Satisfied that they've scared the side of Execration away. They will take it. Aegis once again on Fortune Soul. There is a shard there. Who will grab it? Avatar mod will consume it. And it's the Fire Remnant upgrade. So a little bit of a burn around the Fire Remnant. Plus the replenishment if you get a kill. If someone dies near the Fire Remnant, you get that replenished. So nice little upgrade for the Ember Spirit. Certainly, I think other shards that... Yeah, the Earthshaker shard is already purchased. That would be the main one. But here we go. The Aegis push coming up. The Pudge walking up the high ground. The creeps are in the base. They're at your door. The wolf is knocking. What can Execration do against this double life of Fortune Soul? The Impetus hits. It's no joke. Tombstone comes down. They want to try and take the fight. And they'll just walk away. Tombstone's down, but... Actually, is there a Chrono on top? Maybe. Hook does miss. He's rooted in the spot for a long time. In fact, I think that's the additional 1 second searing change. There's a Will on the back line that Bob's trying to get the damage on to play hard, but he's just dying to Enchantress. Black and ult comes out. Shapeshift. And Puck dies. Does have a buyback. They're holding still onto Chrono. But that's it. The Tombstone's down. How do they now defend? Silence comes out. BKB is there. Probably try and pop a chrono, but it's still just the first life. They can't even kill him once. The damage is too much. Vincenzo being eaten up, stunned from Tino. Will save the Undying's life a little bit. There's the chrono. It's just on one, though. Catches his own Centaur inside. The Echo slams there. 2 are dead. There's no more Void. Buyback coming out from the Centaur. And they're going to try and do something here, running in. But I think at this point it's desperation. The hope is failing. The boat's sinking. Execration, it's setting in. They're realizing, they've become aware that their life in TI11 is over. GG is called, and NeonEsports will progress in these lower bracket qualification rounds.